Today's AskReddit post. What did your friend / random person do that accidentally turned you on? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. I had a girlfriend in college that Pav loved the hell out of me. She wore a specific perfume when she came over for us time vs when we were with a group. I had no idea that smell meant intercourse to me. Then, 6 months after we broke up, working a shift in Target, some random person had that perfume on. Holy shit. I was instantly back in ducking middle school trying to hide my all-time boner from the world. Scent is the sense that is most connected to memory. There is this one perfume that I will smell on occasion and I can't quite remember who wore it, but I remember how I felt at the time. Once at the cinema with a group of friends I got a coughing fit. One of the guys who was sitting next to me took my hand and just went gently up and down with his fingers on the inside of my wrist. The coughing stopped, but I couldn't concentrate on the movie anymore. Wait, that is so hot, I would be devastated. It really was. I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. Went to Ozfest with my buddy and his very attractive sister, and she didn't want to get separated from us, so she kept her finger in my belt loop or held my hand the whole day. Her brother was annoyed because he was trying to lose her all day. Update, didn't know when I got home from work. So many people were gonna reply lol. I'm friends with her on the Facebook, we are both married and have kids now. Thanks for the support though guys and girls. I don't realize how many hot things there are until I read this thread. A lot of these random occurrences are just people not realizing they're being flirted with. I've learned with men it's best to be direct. Hey, I find you attractive. I would like to get to know you better. The cat stays, the dog stays, you can go. It's really simple. Wanna have intercourse has worked on me a few times. Skip the pleasantries /s. This one girl started tickling me. When I started tickling her back, she started to moan and said she was sensitive there. Awkward, walked home. I never thought to tickle their vagina. That's a good idea. Pelvic floor tickling is a great icebreaker. I went to a dance party thing with a platonic female friend of mine who is a bit buttoned up, and she started letting go and dancing like an absolute dork, not giving a poop what anyone else thought of her, and it made me instantly attracted to her. 1. Confidence is always attractive. 2. I thought it was buttoned down. Shirts are buttoned down. Uptight people are buttoned up. Really cute girl I had a crush on sat in my lap on the school bus headed home because there weren't enough seats. She 10,000% was into you. Happened to me in high school. I found out later she was 1000% into me, and her asking me 5 times if I wanted to get off at her stop and walk her home was part of her plan, get me to her house and to lose her virginity to me that day. I was young, dumb, and completely oblivious and did not get the hint she was throwing down. I said I couldn't because my dad needed me straight home. He didn't. I just wanted to smoke a bowl before he got home. I found out later she also smoked bud, so I could have gone to her house and gotten high and laid. I went to university with a guy that was a bit of a grey man. He wasn't introverted as such, just had a bit very focused outlook, which could be off-putting. He contacted me out of the blue a while back. He had completed a project that was, without going into details, pretty impressive. He invited me to visit so he could show it off. I thought it was going to be some sort of industry style PR reveal. Instead it was just a one-on-one tour. He was rightfully extremely proud, and when I realized he wanted to show off to me, it did turn me on massively. Was it a machine that allows spiders to talk to cats? Rehearsing a show together, I was standing in front of him and asked if my position was okay for his next move. He put his hands on my hips and moved me a step up stage. Discovered I really like that. Oh, I didn't realize how much some women love to be manhandled. I discovered this when I was dancing with a friend in a hotel room. I had to get past her, but she wouldn't let me, so I picked her up and threw her on the bed and walked away. Idifo turned her on because she was doing wall splits in front of me after that, and my friends had to say stop advertising lol. No, nothing ever came of it. I wasn't into her, I genuinely needed to get past her. And we were salsa dancers, so it was platonic dancing. We had a photography class together, and my locker was right under his, so I was on my knees, looking up at him while talking, and he was just straight out like, seeing you from this angle is absolutely killing me, and my thoughts are wandering to disrespectful places. Get up. Every single day after that, I would think about sucking his dick while we were at our lockers. I would purposely stay on my knees for longer than I needed to because I liked knowing it was making him think about it too. I will cry if she never got a chance to blow this dude. Back on my campus, it's courtesy to fold someone's clothes if their clothes were still in the dryer and you needed to use it. Of course, with college boys as they are, it was normal to leave your basket in front of the dryer, and whoever needed to use it next can just toss it all in and slide it to the side. Well, one time I had came back from class and went straight to go get my laundry. I opened the door to the laundry room and immediately made eye contact with this shaved cut, buff, ROTC looking guy as he finished folding the last of my clothes in front of me into my basket. It was just the two of us in the room, and I swear I was lost in those eyes until he asked, "Are these yours?" And I shyly replied, "Yes. Thanks for folding them." I swiftly grabbed my clothes and walked out so fast. It was a small but very kind-hearted gesture. Looking back, I shoulder offered to fold his clothes and befriended him, but all my introverted ass could think of at that time was I needed to get out of there quickly. After that, I never saw the guy again. So if this sounds like you, please DM me and let me fold your clothes for you. Patrick Hall was the dorm's name. Weirdly enough, back in high school a girl taught me how to fold laundry properly while bossing me around a bit, and it really turned me on. I might have a sub kink. Dude, I think you just miss your mom. Freud strikes again. When I was 15 I went to the beach with my brother and his cute friend, both 17. My brother mostly ignored me, but his friend took some time to teach me to surf on his board. Afterwards I said thanks for letting me ride it. No double entendre intended whatsoever. He smirked and said you can ride it anytime you want. When I tell you asterisk asterisk IMELTED asterisk 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 he smirked and said you can ride it anytime you want. Asterisk asterisk. Dude. Asterisk asterisk I asterisk asterisk melted just reading that. 15-year me wouldn't have had a prayer against this guy. We were in Target and looking at stuff, and I had walked off to look at something. I didn't even realize he asked me to stay with him in the store. He walked up behind me in the makeup section. His chest pressed against my back lightly and put his hand on my hip and spoke very lowly in my ear 101, but I could hear him, and said, "I thought I told you to stay with me, girl." I damn near gave him a son in the store. Couldn't wait to get home. He still does this whenever I wander off in stores. I'll never admit that I love this game of cat and mouse, and I will never stop wandering away. Holy poop, I almost gave him a son, too. I befriended a religious kid in middle school. Freshman year of high school he randomly told me he was absolutely not going to have intercourse before marriage. That's when I realized how bad I wanted to duck him. I barely had any concept of intercourse, but I knew I wanted this guy. We started dating that same year. He was really sweet, really funny, really hot and really devout. We would make out, but I think he allowed himself to touch my boobs a total of 7 times throughout high school, including one time when he got really carried away, yanked down the top of my dress and sucking ensued. Those incidents, Victorian though they may sound, were asterisk asterisk so damn hot. Asterisk asterisk. I'm that attracted to him. Walking through the park on a cold night at midnight. It's slightly raining, and I'm feeling depressed about life, and in my own world of despair. There's a little bridge across a lake, and I stop there to stare out at the water for a while and forget my troubles. This young woman appears, sort of dancing to herself and bobbing her head as she quietly sings a song. She appears not troubled by the cold and the rain, but somehow in love with it. As she passes we make eye contact and she smiles. That's all. A smile. I'll never forget her. So cinematic. I was staying at my sister's for the summer and she would order a lot of Amazon packages. Usually the same delivery guy would drop them off. And he was very attractive. I would just see him from the window. I'm super shy, but one day I got the courage and went out to grab the package from him and told him, "You're very pretty." He stopped and looked shocked. He said, "Pretty?" I said, "Yes, pretty." He smiled so big and genuinely. He looked so happy, like it was the first time anyone had told him something like that. And I melted. He looked even more gorgeous smiling like that. He said, "Oh wow, thank you," and then giddily walked off. He stopped and looked shocked. He said, "Pretty?" I said, "Yes, pretty." He smiled so big and genuinely. He looked so happy, like it was the first time anyone had told him something like that. Most likely it was the first time anyone has said something like that. When someone reaches up to grab something on a shelf and their shirt comes up just a little and you the strip of skin that's part hips and part stomach. That is the hottest part of any person. What you're looking at, my good fair? You're prostituting yourself out for cheeseburgers again, aren't you? I was making jokes with a coworker, and when she laughed at something I said, she pushed at my chest in that "oh stop it you" kinda way, and oh boy, I damn near melted right then and there. That's because she was blatantly flirting with you. Yeah. Barring family and close friends, women don't go out of their way to touch men they are not attracted to. He dried my motorcycle seat with his sleeve while I was putting my helmet on. That was on our first date. He had to dry it again that night. Did her hair up in intricate braids for another friend's wedding. I could barely make conversation with her. Edit. Fixed a typo. I hate autocorrect. I blame Lord of the Rings for my love of intricate small braids. I also blame Orlando Bloom's Legolas for making me be. I used to work on a team at Facebook, and we had an unofficial emo day. There was a woman a couple of years older than me who usually dressed pretty conservatively, but showed up fully emo. It awakened something in me. We ended up dating for about 6 months. Like an Olivia Newton-John's Machiavelli in Greece. Tell me more. A cute girl I worked with once kicked her leg straight out against a tree and tied her loose shoelace. Something about it, man. Gets turned on by assaulting trees. Don't judge me. I have a voice kink. I specifically like very deep voices and certain accents. Playing D&D with my best friends can be very confusing for my vagina. Darth Vader must be a confronting character for you. Pray I don't make you wet further. When a woman ties her hair back while sitting near me, it's almost guaranteed to give me an unexpected erection. Or at this point, don't you mean an *expected erection? No, the women are genuinely surprised by it every time. Some years back, me and my best friend at the time did some play fighting / wrestling over the last cookie in a packet we were sharing. I lost the match, but sneakily grabbed the cookie, put it halfway into my mouth, and began making a silly "what are you gonna do about it?" gesture. To my surprise, he immediately went for the cookie and our lips brushed while he was trying to bite it. One thing led to another that fateful night, and we've been dating for 7 years now. Babe has just a friend type poop. My best friend / roommate and I used to have this bit last year where we would race back to our dorm and see who could unlock the door first. One night I beat her to the door, but she spun me around, pinned me to the door for just long enough to make me wonder what the hell was happening, then threw me out of the way and unlocked the door. Anyway, we've been dating for 10 months now. My colleague. We were partying at her flat, and I was resting my head on her thighs, and she tried to crush my head between her thighs. IDKY, but I instantly got boner. AHH, the ideal death. Username checks the duck out, haha. Some guy around my age gave me massage for my shoulders randomly while I was in a 1v1 with someone else in Smash Ultimate. _IFK. He was trying to smash. We were goofing around, and this girl bit my arm. I distinctly remember thinking, so this is a thing now, when I realized how much it turned me on. He came very close to me, walked behind me, then he accidentally rubbed against my back. His body touched mine both fully clothed, and was it old work. I melted instantly. She drew a little heart on my car's window in the rain, and it made me feel all sorts of ways. That's very cute. All the random people commenting about all the random things in this thread is turning me on and making me feel incredibly lonely. Rolled up his sleeves and I saw his forearms. Editing to add that move alone promoted him from friend zone to husband material. We've been married 9 years in October. Even guys I've never had any attraction to before suddenly become hot when they do that. I'm taking notes. Asterisk reveal forearms more often asterisk. I recall one time in junior year at a computer lab, my partner and I were joking around, and he said something that made me go EWW, but in a still playful way. Then I scooted away from him with my seat, since it had wheels on the bottom. He leaned forward to grab a hold of my chair, and in one swift motion pulled me very close to him. I remember we both looked at each other for a few seconds silently, and I then said okay, let's get back to work cause I felt tension. IDKY, I felt the tension. He was also buff too. That move is so. I had to say something to defuse the situation, because internally I was flustered. IDK, but that move felt masculine and like he didn't want me to get away. I don't know if how else to describe how I felt at that moment. She told me I was a good girl after doing something for her at work. Words cannot describe how that made me feel. I'm gay, or I think I am. Who knows at this point? This didn't turn me on, but I was talking to one of my friends and she called me baby girl, and that was the most confusing moment I've been in my life. I either acknowledge being called that, she will 100% use this against me, or ignore her. It became a bit of a joke between us, and we had a bit of fling. Really ducked me up was we made out, and she looked me in the eye, and she told me I was a good girl. The handsome guy at the dispensary calls me by my full name every time I come in, and now I have a man crush. Me and two of my female friends were sitting together and chatting about random stuff. We were sitting pretty close to each other, and I was crossing my legs. Then out of the blue, one of them turned to the other and said, "Come on, I'm so bored. Let's go get some coffee or something." And she rubbed her hand all across her best friend's thigh. Except that wasn't her thigh, and it was mine. Her hand was pretty close to my crotch. They both realized at the same time, and the one who did it got all red and apologized. I tried to lighten the mood by saying dude, not in front of everyone, and we all got a good laugh after it. I was sitting, manning a laptop, while a coworker was making a presentation. I suddenly felt another coworker press her head on the left side of my head, and she spoke in a low voice asking about how long the rest of the presentation was. Her speaking that close to my ear really got my heart pumping. And yes, I was always into her, dude. One time I was walking one of my girlfriends home like I always did. These kids started throwing snow at her in a playful way, but they were getting really close to hitting her. One snowball came at her head. I caught it, and she took my book bag off my back and said, "Get them," and that sent me chase the kids down the block, and when I came back she kissed me. Hey, Keanu Reeves, leave some chicks for the rest of us. She was the first girl to tell me she felt safe around me. Still makes my heart melt thinking about her. I went out with a female friend to a day party. I was wearing a two-piece linen short set. She jokingly pulled on my shorts and asked if I was wearing underwear. My pages did not find the joke funny. It took it very seriously. Jokingly, LMAO. I was single mom of two, and my deadbeat ex's best friend came and mowed my overgrown lawn because I didn't have access to a mower. He took his shirt off because he was sweaty and got him. I offered him a cold drink, and he kinda smiled at me, and I was done for. I had never thought of him as anything but a friend till that point. Nothing happened that day, except I went to bed extremely frustrated. Lol. Fast forward a few years. I ended up marrying him. Haha. Slam dunk. Watched him do push-ups after a long, sweaty gym sesh. He was low-key grunting with every push-up. I swear it awakened something in me. Note to self, make excuses to do push-ups whenever possible. Please do not do push-ups in public restrooms. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it should be. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.